A quick salad dressing that you can make in no time at all. All you need is several ingredients. The first one is going to be tahini, which is simply ground up sesame seeds. You can actually use that on salad just as a salad dressing itself. However, it is a little bitter, but to get rid of the bitterness, we just add a little bit of salt to it. The second ingredient is going to be water. The third ingredient is garlic powder. The fourth ingredient is onion powder. And then the last ingredient is going to be smoked paprika. Well, actually, pink Himalayan salt will be the last one. So here's what you want to do. You take your bowl, a nice clear bowl like this, glass bowl. We want to use a glass bowl. And just pour in as much as you'd like. Let's say about a quarter of a cup. Set that aside. Next, what you're going to do is add in some water, but just enough water, a little bit at a time, so that when you're stirring it, it's going to turn white. At first, it's going to turn kind of thick, and it actually looks like it's starting to curdle. You can see that right there. Almost as if you added lemon juice, but you keep mixing it, and then it'll start to get thick. Gets a little bit thicker. Whoops, a little bit of splash there. And you can see it's now starting to get thick. Now, another thing that you can do with this, in this consistency right here, which is really good on bread, is just to add a little bit of honey to it, or maple syrup. Now, you see how it got real thick all of a sudden. It's no longer runny. So you keep adding water to it. Add a little bit more water, just a little at a time, because if you add too much, it'll get too runny. All right, it's difficult to stir this up without splashing, so you got to be really careful. A whisk would be really much better than this spatula. But we'll continue with this. There we go. Now you can see it starting to turn white. And it may not go fully white just yet because it needs more water, but it's getting there. It's still a little thick. You can't use that. It's like a paste right now. All right, yeah. See, now it's turning back to this brownish color. That means we need just to add a little bit more water. Add a little more in there. Okay, that should be close enough. And stir that around. Now, if you had a little handheld blender, you could get this whipped up in no time at all. The good thing about this salad dressing is that you can have somebody come over and you're not expecting anybody, and all of a sudden you just pull this out and start mixing it up, and you've got salad dressing in no time. We've done this several times when people come over, ran out of salad dressing. Okay, now you can see it's starting to get whiter. It's still a little thick though. It's more like a paste still, so we just add a little bit more water. And it should be just about done. All right, there we go. We'll mix that in gently. And I simply just call this tahini salad dressing, really. And there we go. It's just about mixed in. See how white it gets compared to when it originally started? All right, just mix that up. Oh yeah, nice and creamy. There you go. You might like it a little bit thinner than that, because once it gets cold, it's going to stiffen up as well. Oops, let me get over here right in this center of the screen. You see that? So I'll add a little bit more water, and then we'll be done. Okay, yeah, that should be just about right. Just got to add a little bit of water at a time. You can see it actually getting whiter. The more that you add water and mix it, it gets whiter and whiter. There we go. I think we've got a good consistency here. Yeah. That's nice. That's real nice. Okay, so the next ingredient that we're going to add is just a little bit of salt. You don't want to add too much salt, so I'm going to add a quarter of a teaspoon of salt to this. And that all it really does is it just gets rid of the bitterness, because tahini is kind of bitter on its own. So just stir that in. And that's mixed in. We'll call that mixed in. And what you want to use now is 1 teaspoon of onion powder. And however amount or whatever amount of tahini that you use to start with, you're always going to want to use 2 to 1. So what I mean by that is 2 parts of onion powder to 1 part of garlic powder. So now we're going to use a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Mix that in there. And then the last ingredient is going to be our smoked paprika. And you can use as much as you want in that. Half a teaspoon would be sufficient. And actually what you can do at the very end of that is just sprinkle a little bit on it, and I'll show you. And it'll look real nice. And you could put a little sprig of parsley on there as well. And you'll have your salad dressing. And this is really good. I mean, another way that you can have this is to put it on some bread. Leave it a little thicker, don't put as much water in it, and then put that in a toaster oven and toast it. And it'll be really nice. I'll put that in there with my finger. I'm going to be eating it, so it doesn't matter. All right. And then just a little bit on top. Let's go ahead and do that. Clean that up. Just take a little bit, pinch out, and just kind of sprinkle it on top. Just like that. And there you have it. Beautiful, tasty salad dressing. Made